Welcome back to the Pioneer Coaches Show presented by GoMart. Go for good times, go for GoMart. I'm your host, Sports Information Director Jagger Furr, and with me now is head track and field coach Dan Meyers. Coach, thanks for being here today.
Jagger, thanks for having me.
All right, Coach, you had your first ever All American female in track and field at the NCAA D2 Indoor Track and Field Championships over the weekend. Janae Scott finished 14th in the shot put, second team All American. Her first heat was 13.3, came back with a strong throw in that second one to get a top 15 finish. What'd you think about her competition there this past weekend?
Yeah, I think just to start with, this was I'd been to 3 outdoor national meets and obviously the cross country national meet in the fall with Natalie. I'd never been to the indoor national meet, so for myself, Coach Johnson, and Janae, I mean, just stepping in the facility was just a huge monumental moment. And I sent you those pictures of they have all the teams qualifiers like on the walkway in, and to see our school up there, it's really really cool. A very very surreal moment. These are things that as you're building a program that really do when you kind of look at the performance list that it takes to go to indoor nationals, like very far fetched. But you get an athlete like Janae and kind of can make you put your program on the map. We've talked in previous podcasts, when we talked about her getting qualified, that, just how well that she's done under Coach Johnson's guidance since we've been here. And to get into the competition format, she was not phased by, the moment. And just the show they put on there for the athletes is just absolutely unreal. And Janae's a competitor. So, me and Coach Johnson are going to look back and we're going to tell her that, you're second team All American and, you have to show up and do it on that day. The number one girl in the whole entire country. She was fourth in the Olympic trials in the discus. She was a meter and a half favorite. She did not get a mark. That's why you show up. You have to get a mark on the board. We're talking after. I'm like, you're second team All American. Like, that's awesome. She's like, my PR would have got me to the final. And that's what she's still going to hang on to. She always wants a little bit more, and I think that has completely fueled her to get back to outdoor nationals in Emporia, Kansas in May. Just an unreal experience. Just some things this year that have happened that, going into the year, it was not an expectation. It was just kind of a dream and a goal. I'm just really, really, really proud of Janae and Coach Johnson, and just a great trip.
And we talked about it a couple weeks ago what it was like getting an athlete there, but now you got an athlete to nationals. She's a second team All American. She's in your recruiting region. She's a Pennsylvania native. What's this do for your program going forward now that you can say, hey, we got an All American. She's from Pennsylvania. She's around, not local, but she's locally when you look at states. So what's this do for your program going forward?
Yeah, I think it's huge. I mean, there's been no doubt the last 3 years that what our throws program has done under Coach Johnson. But I think that Coach Johnson, threw out a really great quote for the article that Coach Skiles wrote about Janae and Nick Johnson on the wrestling team. And Coach Johnson said that, Janae's biggest impact is at practice every day. The girls in our program that are chasing her every day by her habits, her work ethic, the type of person that she is. And through the success that we've had this year with Natalie and Janae, it's just unreal how humble they are. I mean, I've said this before, and I believe it to my core. I think they're two of the best female athletes ever in any sport in the school's history. They know that just because you go to it, I think people are realizing now just because we're a small school in a small town, you can come here, you can do big things. And I think that's the biggest. I think that's the biggest thing. I think that people are realizing, like, man, like they're not questioning why that athlete showed up at Glenville 3 years ago anymore. They know they came here to get better and to lock in and do all the little things. So I think that's the biggest thing moving the program forward.
And now that officially puts a close on the indoor season. You move to the outdoor season, a little different than what you're used to, where you have maybe a 3-4 week, in between. It's been really busy. Now you go to the 49er Classic in Charlotte this Friday and Saturday. What do you want to see out of your team as you open the outdoor season?
Yeah, little rough weather to start spring break, or to come back from spring break, and most of our team went home last week. We had about 10 or 12 that stayed on campus to train. Um, you know, it's it's a rust buster, but it's not. I mean, we have 5 opportunities before our conference meet this year. Especially if you're not a top dog on the team, the opportunities are limited. Our outdoor season is very short. It's shorter than the indoor season. It's a quick turnaround. But I definitely think this is one of the most talented groups that we've taken to Charlotte in quite some time. And we're shaking things up a little bit with some of the events that we have people in. Definitely be the strongest 400 men's group that we've had down there with Carson and Rory. Janae's back in action. Macy Hilvers, Addie Cottrell's going to redshirt for us this year, so we can have her next year. So some strategic plays kind of going into this outdoor season. Natalie's going to open up in her first ever 10K, which had told me that a year ago. I wouldn't have believed it. But just some things that we're trying to do outdoors to be as successful as possible. But very talented group, and it's starting the grind. It's what is our outdoor season. We compete every weekend until conference, and a lot of split travel. A lot of long weekends, a lot of long days, but when you're doing it with a group of kids that really buys in and knows that they're some of the best kids in the program history, they keep things exciting. But it's the start of a gauntlet for sure. Hoping to come away with maybe some school records and some all-time marks heading into when we return to our home state next week at West Liberty. But overall, just really proud of how the indoor season finished out, and Janae's road to outdoor nationals. It starts Friday.
All right, Coach. Well, we appreciate you coming on today. Good luck this week.
Thank you.
Basketball season is rolling, baby. Tony here, and I'm feeling the groove.
Brad here checking in, and when the hoops are flying, it's full court fun at GoMart.
That's right, the Groovy Hoops promotion is on now. Take your shot to earn bonus reward points and tokens when you purchase one of 6 specially marked items.
Collect all 6 tokens for an additional 2,000 points. Sign up for GoMart Rewards and watch your points soar like a slam dunk in platform shoes.
Go to GoMart.com or check the app for all the details. Stay groovy.
Welcome back to the Pioneer Coaches Show presented by GoMart. With me now is head acrobatics and tumbling coach Taylor Broadwater. Coach, thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Coach, we didn't get to talk to you last week, so you went on the road March 5th. Frostburg State MEC meet. You won 242.285 to 237. What'd you like about your girls' ability to go on the road and get a win there?
Very happy with how the girls executed there. Definitely think that our scores didn't really reflect how well they executed and what they did, because I felt like a lot of those events were some of our best events that we had put up this season with some of our lowest scores.
Mm-hmm. And you were without one of your studs in that meet. Got her back against Gannon, but it was a quick turnaround. It was a 5-day turnaround, which you were coming off a 2-week spurt before that at Gannon. Nationally ranked number 9 in the country. You scored one of your highest scores of the season. Just Gannon was really good that night, 268. Just your thoughts on the defeat there on Tuesday.
Very happy with the girls. I can't say that I'm upset about that at all. I feel like they executed exactly how I would have asked them to. We had a couple minor mistakes, but they're not going to be perfect. I can't expect that, and I do feel like they did a very good job going against a team like that when we had very few days to recover, and I have a roster of 19 where they have 24 actively on that mat. And that was something that I'm very proud of with the girls, because it was noticed by a lot of fans, and a lot of Gannon's staff actually came up and commented the fact that we were able to compete like that with 19 on the floor and how impressive that was. And I do feel like that shows the execution that my girls are putting up and just how hard we train with low numbers on our roster.
And now I'm coming up, probably the biggest meet of the season for you guys. Fairmont State coming into town on Saturday, 5-0, 3-0 in the conference, just coming off a pair of nationally ranked wins. They're 6th in the country right now. Just what do you want to see out of your girls now? Senior day on Saturday, big meet. Just what do you want to see out of your girls?
I just want to see them have fun, execute everything that we've been working on, fix the little things. We've been working on improving a lot, so I just want to see them actually pull together, and I think competing against Gannon really helped with that, because we were neck and neck with them the entire meet. So I do think that definitely helped their confidence going into Fairmont, and I think that we can put up one of the best meets we ever have versus Fairmont.
And that meet on Saturday starts at 1 p.m. here in the Waco Center. Coach, appreciate you coming on today, and good luck this week.
Thank you so much.
Welcome back to the Pioneer Coaches Show presented by GoMart. With me now is head baseball coach Jimmy Mullins. Coach, thanks for being here today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
All right, Coach. You started out Mountain East Conference play this past weekend. We're in Fairmont, technically Morgantown, at Milan Park with Fairmont State on Saturday. It was a split there, 5-3 defeat in Game 1. Came back with a Game 2 win, 8-5. Just your thoughts on how you guys opened up Mountain East play there on Saturday.
Yeah, so we played Fairmont up at Milan Park. Their complex director, by the way, is a Gilmer County High School grad. So
they're everywhere.
Yep. So he was. We were talking about some maintenance on the turf and this and that. So he's a good dude. We're talking about the progress of the complex here and everything like that. So yeah, we opened up Landis. He had another strong outing, and we kept hitters off balance, was hitting spots, played really good defense there to start of the game. Our bats were a little slow all weekend, but we hung in a game, and it was a good baseball game for 4 or 5 innings. And then we tried to extend Landis out a little bit longer than normal, knowing that the third time through the order for anyone, they're susceptible to get hit a little bit. We had 2 outs, tried to keep him in, and just one pitch got away, and the hitter hit it out of the yard and tied the game. But trying to extend our starters out a little bit to shorten the distance that the relievers have to go, because we're down 2 or 3 key arms right now. So just trying to make the adjustments. But it's the beauty of baseball is there's no strict answer where it's always going to work. So, but I'd rather have the ball in Landis's hand, tired, and than he was throwing well, hitting spots. Guys are still off balance, but the hitter's got a bat in the hand, and he did his job and tied the game. And then that's how that turned out. Dellerman in game 2, a little bit erratic first inning. We really need our starting pitchers to really be efficient in the strike zone. Like, we can't afford to go 2 and 3 balls to every batter when we don't need to. So, you get an opportunity to most batters are going to put the ball in play with less than 2 strikes, and you have an opportunity to throw 2 or 3 strikes before you can throw 4 balls. And we're Division II athletes, so we need to throw the ball in the strike zone, and we need our starters to do that, because if you can eliminate 5 or 6 pitches an inning, now we're extending out 2 or 3 more innings for the starter. It's going to put less stress on our bullpen, and that's what we really need right now is less less stress on our bullpen, because we're down 2 or 3 arms to injury. So after that first inning, he really focused in and started hitting spots, and he threw 7 1/3, 2/3,
6 and 2/3.
6 2/3.
Yeah.
Yep. So almost got through as a complete game, and we're trying to get it there, but made some good pitches there at the end, and we ended up having to get him out because the pitch count gets too high. We don't want to put him at risk to injury and things like that. So, but we were able to. He threw really well. We're really proud of him there, and we were able to get that game there. So we got out of there with a split.
Yeah, and on Sunday, traveled to Frostburg, had to play in Cumberland. Their field is having some issues right now. That first game, you're down 3-0. Come back in the top of the 7th inning, down to your, as Coach Giles calls, the last chance cafe. Get a big home run from Ashton Crace. Frostburg turns around, 2 batters, walks it off there. And then in game 2, that doubleheader, they were able just to pull away there with a couple big innings. Just your thoughts on the team's performance on Sunday at Frostburg.
Yeah, so we played over at Allegheny Community College, Frostburg's field. They were doing some work on it. They're actually getting ready to get turf down put on it. So our league now will be down to just 1 or 2 teams without turf. So which is great for our league because we can play more games and get them in and miss less class and things like that. So Allegheny Community College, Steve Bazarnik field. Steve Bazarnik is a historical coach up there, and actually it was my first recruiting trip when I was at West Virginia State. Was up there to see Steve Bazarnik. So that was kind of cool pulling in there and remembering that and how quick time goes. But yeah, we went up there and just thought we were lethargic kind of all weekend. Our bats were slow. They pitched it well, credit to them, but I thought we could have got some more things done. But yeah, Ashton Crace pinch hit there at the end, 2 runners on. He took 2 strikes and actually didn't look like he was seeing the ball well. So your gut says this isn't going to turn out well. All of a sudden, whack hits one through the wind in the left field. It was his first college home run. His dad was there, so I think that was
That's
really
pretty
awesome.
sick, yeah.
It was awesome. So he got in there, and then Chu really, he threw well. He came in out of relief and kept them off balance. They did no damage to him. So we ran him back out there to try to throw the top of that inning there, and or the bottom of the inning, excuse me. And they weak single to left field. The ball got over into the corner though, and then turned into a double and then base it up the middle and they win. But we clean ball game. Chu did an amazing job there. Gora had a really good start. Freshman left-hander for us. Those 2 guys back to back. They did their job to good enough for us to win, and we just couldn't put the offense through and didn't play defense very well that game. And then game 4 got away from us there, and we tried to get into our bullpen. And so, we didn't play well this weekend. We didn't play defense well. We were lethargic. We were slow. we were slow on the bases. We were slow, rangy. I'm not sure what's going on, but we have to figure it out. And I told our guys, you run into hard times, you just got to figure it out. So, and it's my job to figure it out. I'll take the losses, and when we get back and win some more games here next weekend, and they'll get credit for the wins. And from here to there, we'll get them ready to go.
And that opportunity presents itself Saturday and Sunday this weekend. You got Point Park coming into town on Saturday, to the defending Mountain East Conference tournament champions and Northern divisions as well. And then you have Salem on Sunday. You mentioned a lot of things, lethargic this past weekend. Just what do you want to see this weekend, other than some wins, obviously, as you bring Point Park and Salem into town, into Kenny Greenleaf Field?
Yeah, we talk about you can't control wins, but you can influence wins.
Mm-hmm.
And wins in baseball is just an accumulation of details done correctly and details done well. So I told them we just need to get the joy back. We just look like the umpire says play ball. It doesn't say suffer ball. It looks like we're out there this weekend. I don't get it. Like we're on a 2-hour punishment timeout. It's like seeing Little League kids out here playing, and their mom and dad are yelling at them every 2 pitches, and then they wonder why they play PlayStation and not baseball. But that's what we look like, and I don't get that. But so I told them after, I was like, look, we need to find our joy. Like, you have to get the joy back for the game. Like, regardless of wins, regardless of loss, regardless of performance, we're all blessed to be able to do what we're doing right now. There's a lot of things going on in the world right now, and we get to do this. And we just have to find our joy. And once we find our joy, and once we get a little fresh on our legs and get a little bit of those things back, the wins are going to come for us because it's a good ball club.
And those games Saturday and Sunday, 1 and 3:30 at the Seymour Sports Complex. Coach, appreciate you coming on today. Good luck this coming weekend.
Thank you.